In this video, we got another episode of this series where I rate and improve your guys' teams. You guys will send me your teams on Twitter at x7tanak, and I'll give you guys my best suggestions and my rating 1 through 10. If you guys also want to comment your team and MT down below in the YouTube comment section, let me know what team you guys are rocking right now and how much MT you guys have, and I'll give you guys my best suggestions and my rating 1 through 10. But looking at the first team here coming in from Ant-Man of the video, he's got 500,000 MT on current gen, and he almost has Bam, but who does he replace? So first off, to answer that question, I would definitely put Bam over Worthy. I do think he's a better power forward. So let's just say, for example, you have Bam over Worthy. For this rating out of 10, it is a very good looking squad. I mean, you got a great starting lineup and a great bench as well. I would say this is a solid 9 out of 10 team. And then for suggestions, you have 500,000 MT. I think you could honestly get rid of Dwight Howard and look to get a guy like Kareem, you know, Shaq, Hakeem, Kristaps. I do think they're all going to be better than a guy like Dwight. I know you can't sell Dwight, so maybe if you wanted to move Dwight to the back of 4, get rid of Bam, and then pick up one of those centers. But I would get Kareem or Kristaps over a guy like Dwight Howard. And then other than that, I mean, you could maybe upgrade the small forward position with a guy like Carmelo Anthony, because I do think Carmelo is a decent amount better than a guy like Paul George. And then for point guards, maybe go after a guy like Penny Hardaway or Shea, who I do think are the 2 best point guards. But that really comes down to preference. If you maybe like Magic more than a guy like Penny. But those would be my suggestions for your squad. But overall, a very good looking squad. And the next team here coming in from John Roy, or just Roy Nation. He's on PS5 next gen, has 360k. He's close to finishing his grind for Opal AD, and he's loving Dang and still trying out Bam, and he's open to suggestions. So another great team here. For the rating out of 10, I'm probably going to give this another 9 out of 10. They're very similar squads and kind of level. Maybe this one is a tiny bit better, like maybe a 9.1 or 9.2, but it is definitely very, very close. I would say for 4 suggestions, I would get rid of Jimmy Butler and move Luol Deng to the backup 2, and then for your backup small forward position, either go after Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, even that Paulo Banchero, and run him over a guy like Jimmy Butler at the 3, because I think Jimmy is still a really good Galaxy Opal shooting guard, but I just think there's better small forwards and better shooting guards in the game. So that would really be my only suggestion, is move Luol Deng to the backup 2, and then I would go after a guy like Carmelo Anthony for the backup small forward spot, because he'll also give you some offense for a guy like Lonzo, who's really not the best offensive point guard. He'll definitely help him out on the offensive end. So those would be my suggestions for your squad. But once again, another really good looking squad. And then third team here of the video coming in from Ron. He's got 100,000 MT, and he's getting Sean Kemp. So if you were to get Sean Kemp, I'd probably just replace Thurl Bailey and then maybe look to play him at the small forward spot. But Harrison Barnes and Banchero are really good small forwards, so that would really have to be up to you. But let's just say you don't have Sean Kemp on your lineup. This is still a really good team. I would say it's a little bit worse than the past 2 squads. I would say maybe an 8 to 8.5. I'm not really the biggest fan of Mike Miller. I know he's not a bad shooting guard, but with 100,000 MT, I would just go after a guy like Ricky Davis. To me, your shooting guard is only the only position on your squad that you really have to improve. So I would honestly just go after Ricky Davis, maybe save up a little bit more to 125, 150,000, and just try to get yourself a Ricky Davis. You have Luol Deng already, who's a great shooting guard, so I think just upgrading your backup 2 would make your squad overall a lot better. But I think other than that, a great squad. I like this Harrison Barnes card. Bam's really good. I love Boogie Cousins. I think Kristaps and Thurl Bailey is a great pairing at the 4 and the 5. Paulo Banchero is really good. I think Shea's the second best point guard in the game. And this Kevin Porter Jr. is a great offensive shooting guard, or great offensive point guard, I should say. So overall, a very decent squad. I'd probably say if you after you make that upgrade to Ricky Davis from Mike Miller, I'd probably say 8.5 out of 10. And then looking at the next team here coming in from Nate, he's got 300,000 MT, and he is going to be on next gen. Another pretty decent squad, I would say. I mean, looking at the team, not really the biggest fan of Lauri Markkanen. Tyson Chandler is decent. I would say probably an 8 out of 10 squad, maybe an 8.5 at most. I would say for this squad, first off, you want to get rid of Lauri Markkanen, and if you want to lock in for Harrison Barnes, I think that's actually a really good idea. I could be wrong on the price tag, but I think he's honestly under 50,000 MT right now. But maybe he's gone up in price because people are starting to realize how good of a card he really is. So maybe he's like 75,000 MT right now, but even still, that is a really good price tag for Harrison Barnes. So I would upgrade him at the small forward spot. And then if you want to move Jonathan Isaac to the backup 3 and start Harrison Barnes, I think that's a really good idea as well. I think for Dwight Howard, I do like him at the center, the power forward position a little bit more. So if you wanted to move a guy like Dwight Howard to the 4, get rid of Giannis, and then get Kristaps for the starting center spot, I think that'd be a really good upgrade as well. So your front court could be Dwight and Kristaps with having, you know, Harrison Barnes at the 3. Ron Artest is decent. Ricky Davis is pretty obviously really really good as well. I think you could maybe get Luol Deng over a guy like Ron Artest. I think he's definitely going to be a decent amount better. And then for your backup center, I would just get Kareem. So my suggestions would really just be get Kareem, get Kristaps to help improve your center position, and then get Harrison Barnes as well. But other than that, I think it's a very good looking squad. And then coming in, next team here, coming in from the real Laker fan, he's got about 400,000 MT, and he's got Barnes as his backup 3 now. So instead of Thurl Bailey, that's going to be Harrison Barnes. This is a really, really good team. A squad, I like that you have Tim Thomas, obviously the best card in my team. You got AD, D-Rob's really nice at center, the best center in the game. I would say for you, your probably biggest flaw is going to be your bench backcourt, but rating out of 10, I'd probably give this a solid 8.5 out of 10, maybe probably a 9 after you make these suggestions, but before maybe a 9 out of 10, but I'd say most likely probably a solid. Actually, I'm gonna give the squad a 9. I'm gonna give the squad a 9 out of 10. I think if you were to make these suggestions, maybe like a 9.2 or a 9.3. So you have 300, let's just say 400,000 MT. For the point guard position, there's so many different names you could go after. Penny Hardaway, you already have Shea, so that's really good, but Penny Hardaway, Lonzo, there's even Magic, LaMelo, there's just so many names you could go after. I would say for this lineup and how I'm gonna structure it, I would go after a guy like Lonzo Ball. He's gonna give you some amazing defense, a lot better than a guy like Rex Chapman. And then for the backup shooting guard spot, I would go ahead and get Ricky Davis. You should be able to get both of them for around maybe 250,000, 300,000 MT at most, which will still have you 400,000 or 100,000 MT left over to spend. And if you do that, I would say your squad definitely becomes a lot better, especially your bench backcourt, because other than that, I don't really see any upgrades you can make, especially with your MT count. I mean, maybe if you can save up some more MT, you can make some more suggestions, but this is a really good squad, you know, to start off with. I would say just the backup point guard, backup shooting guard, get yourself a Lonzo Ball, maybe another guy if you wanted to, like a LaMelo or a Magic. And then for the backup shooting guard, definitely get a guy like Ricky Davis. If you maybe wanted to spend a little bit more MT, you could look to getting guys like Galaxy Opal MJ, Pink Diamond Kobe, obviously really good shooting guard options as well. But if you want to go for the cheapest possible, you know, upgrades, I would go Ricky Davis and Lonzo as well, probably Penny Hardaway if you wanted to spend a little bit more MT. And then looking at the next team here, coming in from F Gun, he's got another amazing squad. I will say, like, I was looking through the teams that you guys submit every single week when I do the tweet asking for all the teams, and like every single team was like really good. So if you're watching this video and wondering why there's no like budget teams, like, I'm trying to get the best possible teams and I'm trying to get some budget options as well, but everyone just got a really good squad. There's obviously some suggestions I can make for each single team, but looking at F Gun's squad here, he's got 200,000 MT and he's obviously looking for some suggestions. I mean, this squad is damn near perfect except for the backup 3 and the backup 4. Those would be my really only upgrades that I'll make in a second, but another probably 9.5 out of 10 team. I would say for the backup 3, I mean, I love Carmelo Anthony, but if you were to get Carmelo, then you can upgrade the backup 4. So what I'd say to do, if you want to grind for Bam, which I don't see why you wouldn't go for Bam, he's such an easy grind to get, I would get Carmelo for the backup 3 and then get Bam Adebayo for the backup 4, because other than that, your team would be damn near perfect, and I would probably give this squad a 9.5 out of 10. Looking at the next squad here, coming in from Kai, he's got 500,000 MT. I'm about to get some bonus, and he's going for Clyde as his first opal. So looking at your squad, this is definitely the most like kind of budgety, you know, I guess weakest team here of the video. So rating out of 10, it's not really a complete squad. Like, you literally have a gold center right now, so not exactly sure if I can give this a proper rating out of 10. I think for the cards you actually have though, I'd probably say a 8, maybe an 8 out of 10 for the squads you have. For the cards you have, maybe 7.5, because 80 at center just really isn't that usable. But you got 500,000 MT. That is a lot to work with. So I'd say for the starting lineup, I would just keep either Kobe or MJ as the starting shooting guard and then move the other one to the backup 2. That means your backcourt will be set and your backcourt will be good to go. For example, I would go Russ, Kobe, and then off the bench, I would go John Wall and Jordan. And the reason why I'm doing that is because Russ is the better offensive point guard in my opinion, Russ is probably the better all-around point guard in my opinion than John Wall. So pairing him next to Kobe is the better idea, where John Wall is super good offensively but struggles a little bit defensively, where that's where Jordan can bring some really good defense. So your backcourt is set there: Russ, Kobe, John Wall, Jordan. Now for your small forward, you can slide KD to the 3, and then for your backup 3, I mean, if you want to go kind of cheaper, there's Harrison Barnes. If you want to lock in for him, is a really good idea. If you want to go for what's his name, if you want to go for Paulo Banchero, he's another really good idea at the small forward position. And then for power forward, if you kind of want to keep it cheaper as well, just get guys like Thurl Bailey, Evan Mobley as your 2 power forwards. And then for your 2 centers, go ahead and get Kristaps and go ahead and get Kareem as well. That squad, or the players I suggested, you can easily get for around 300 maybe even a little bit less. Like I'd say probably 250 to 300,000 MT at most for the players I just suggested. That rounds out your squad. You don't even need Sabonis, you don't even need Clyde Drexler. Both those cards wouldn't even make this squad when I obviously made the suggestions, but a pretty decent team. If you want to use Sabonis and Clyde, they can obviously fit somewhere in this lineup, but the cards that I suggested and the team I suggested, I do think will be a lot better. And then guys, last team of the video comes in from Luke. I kind of just threw him in here because, you know, he submitted his team and he doesn't really have any MT to, you know, make suggestions with, but I thought I'd just show off his team here. You guys probably know Lukey, a great Myteam creator, great MyLeague creator, did a bunch of stuff in the Myteam community, a great editor, and just a great person as well. So I want to just throw his team in here at the end of the video. So he's got 6,000 MT, he's got a 15 Hoff Shea, a 12 Hoff Kobe, and a 20 Hoff D-Rob. That D-Rob is probably insane. That's probably why he has no MT, because he probably just bought that D-Rob. I mean, this squad, if you want to give a rating out of 10, I would say probably like a 9, maybe 9.5 out of 10. I think you could upgrade, like, you know, Ron Artest, James Worthy. I mean, those cards can definitely be upgraded. I don't know if he really plays the game that much, but if he wants to go after a Bam, obviously can be better than Worthy in my opinion. And then for the backup shooting guard spot, once he saves up some more MT, he can get himself a Luol Deng, a Ricky Davis, or maybe an MJ as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said earlier, what is your guys squad looking like? And let me know how much MT you guys have, and I'll give you guys my best suggestions. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.